not feeling well.
Hey Ma, do you know what bursts my bubble?
What burst your bubble, Andrew?
Money and freedom. If you don't have money in the United States of America, you don't have freedom.
This is true. Very true.
And do you ever think like millionaires and billionaires, people who have superior jobs, look down on people who have lower level jobs?
I do think that some people do that, yes.
I mean, there are some bosses who obviously look at their employees as peers. But in a way, if you don't have money and you're working like in maintenance or as a stock clerk or as a barista at a coffee shop, you're in a way you're kind of like a slave in a way.
Well, yeah, I remember
to the billionaires and the 1%, you're kind of like a slave.
Well, I remember in the corporation that I was once in.
Yeah.
They taught managers and hierarchy to look down upon and not mingle with the working class.
Yeah, I know. When I used to work at the supermarket, I was referred to as a laborer. I was referred almost like as if I was just a peon and a nobody by the management. And
a store. There is a store. Can I say the name?
No, I wouldn't say the name of it.
Okay, there is a store. It's a small store.
Mm-hmm.
Very good products. All of their employees are treated like part of a family. That store does fabulous. Why? Because when you treat everybody equally as important, they work harder.
Right. I know some people say socialism or communism is bad,
Well,
but sometimes I think the enormously wealthy, like the 1%, being like bullies and like sociopathic, psychopathic.
I hate bullies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right. That's exactly, and like even when I worked at a restaurant, for example, I suspect I was viewed as a special wish individual. I remember
What is that?
like somebody who's dying of cancer. You know what I mean? I mean they could tell I had severe mental illness. I was like really skinny, and I think the reason I was fired from Famous Dave's, I'm gonna say, is not because I was collecting trash with a to-go bag. The reason I was fired is because I was mentally ill and they didn't want me working there. You know what I mean?
How did they tell?
I mean, it would be hard to prove. They'll say, "Oh, it was insubordination," which is bullshit. I believe the reason I was fired is because I was mentally ill and they didn't want me working there. You know what I mean?
Could be.
It definitely is.
There is discriminatory.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
For all issues,
Yeah.
people discriminate for a lot of issues.
Right.
Sometimes if you have a physical or a...
Yeah, because I was really skinny. I looked like I had AIDS or cancer. I was really mentally ill. I was like kind of like keeping to myself, and they wanted to fire me. Basically, they wanted to fire me because people were skeeved by me because of how skinny I was and because of how mentally ill I was.
Well, there was somebody that I worked with.
I mean, it's a restaurant, and people don't want mentally ill people preparing their food, or
Right.
you know what I mean. This is they just wanted to fire me because I was mentally ill. That's it. You know what I mean?
Well, the place that I worked, there was a woman, and
Yeah.
you definitely knew she had a mental illness.
Right.
But she was very smart, and she was good.
Yeah, let's not share the story. I know it's pretty. Let's just.
But it's just that they wanted to fire her.
Yeah.
They tried to do everything to fire her.
People try to fire people.
She got an attorney though.
With mental illness. That's why the supermarket was good with the union in a way, because it's kind of
Yes.
you could be sick with mental
Yes.
illness and the union will protect
Well,
you.
things are kind of changed a lot with people with disabilities. The woke crowd
Yeah.
now, and that's the only thing that I can say is good about the woke people, is that they fight for people that are
Disabled, yeah.
Disabled,
Yeah.
yes.
That
And
is
what it is.
what it is.